Welcome to our journey of Socratic pets. I'm so glad you're here. In this video, we'll be exploring the inner lives of our animal companions through thoughtful questioning and dialogue inspired by the Greek philosopher Socrates. As pet owners, we often feel a deep bond with our cats, dogs, birds, and other critters. But there's still so much we don't understand about how they experience the world. What do they think and feel? Do they have consciousness similar to humans? By channeling the questioning spirit of Socrates, my hope is we'll gain new insight into the rich inner worlds of our pets. Let's begin with a fun thought experiment. If our pet could talk, what do you imagine they'd say? Would your chatty cat dish on the neighborhood gossip? Would your wise old dog finally reveal where he buries his bones? My silly tabby Mittens would probably complain about her boring cat food and beg for more tasty treats. And I bet your pets would have their own unique perspectives to share as well. While we can only speculate what they'd say, imagining our pets with human speech opens up fun philosophical questions about their inner lives. Do you think your pet has a personality and specific wants, likes and dislikes, or are they driven solely by instinct without consciousness like a robot? I'm convinced Mittens has strong opinions about her routines, toys, and even household events, but I may be biased since I love her so much. What do you think? Do our pets have unique personalities, preferences and quirks? Or are they biologically programmed without distinct identities? If pets could talk, would they have a sense of self? For example, does Mittens know she's a cat named Mittens with certain cat tendencies? Or is she just a jumble of sensory inputs and outputs lacking real self-awareness? My instinct is that pets must have some degree of first-person consciousness to navigate the world, but some argue it's a uniquely human trait. What's your take on whether pets have a sense of I similar to humans? I'd love to pick your philosophical brain. Here's another fun thought experiment. If your pet suddenly transformed into a human, how do you think they'd describe you? Would they recount specific memories and traits that define you in their eyes? For example, Mittens might describe me as the chatty one who gives extra treats. Or would they lack such a complex mental model for understanding individuals with distinct personalities and behaviors? Pets obviously recognize us, but do you think they see us as complex individuals or just sources of food and shelter? It's fascinating to ponder. Shifting gears, I'm curious, are some animals smarter than others, or do they all have approximately equal intelligence relative to their needs? For instance, my cat Mitten seems pretty crafty when she wants food or attention. But is she inherently smarter than a rhinoceros or a squirrel? They have different cognitive abilities, but is measuring intelligence across species even valid? What do you think? Are some animals definitively smarter? Or does each creature have intelligence perfectly adapted for its niche and lifestyle? I don't have a firm view, so I'd love to hear your perspective on this. Here's another thought experiment. If you could experience life as your pet for a day, what do you imagine it would be like? Would you gain new insight into your pet's wants, fears, or motivations? For me, experiencing Mittens' life would be incredibly eye-opening. I'd get to truly feel her sensory world. The smells, sounds, textures. I'd experience firsthand how she communicates and what she desires. At the end of the day, I'd probably have a whole new appreciation for providing the best care for her needs. What about you? What do you think experiencing life as your pet would be like? Would you discover surprising new insights about your animal friend? Let's have fun speculating. And in the process, maybe we'll gain empathy and inspiration for enhancing their care. All right, on to another philosophical prompt about the inner world of pets. If animals like dogs and cats don't have language, does that mean they don't have an internal dialogue like humans? Or could they still experience primitive thought through images, instincts, and emotions? I'm inclined to believe that while Mittens doesn't have an inner voice narrating her life like I do, she must experience existence through a lens of some kind, even if it's driven more by sensory input than abstract thought. But it's hard to know for sure. What do you think? Do pets have some form of first-person, experiential consciousness, even without human-style language and reasoning? I'd love to hear your perspective as we reflect on what cognitive experience might be like beyond words. Okay, one more thought experiment before we wrap up. If you could give your pet one human ability, what would you choose and why? For example, I might give Mittens the ability to speak since I'm so curious what she'd say. Or I might give a logical reasoning so I could better explain things like upcoming vet visits. What about you? If you could expand your pet's capabilities in one way, what would you choose and why? What do you imagine the pros and cons would be? Let's have some speculative fun imagining how adding human-like enhancements could affect our pets' quality of life and our bonds with them. As you can see, questioning like Socrates can open up fascinating lines of inquiry into the inner worlds of our beloved pets. While we can't definitively know what it's like to be a cat or dog, by engaging in thoughtful speculation grounded in evidence and empathy, we can expand our compassion and gain more insights into providing the best possible care for our animal friends. I hope these dialogues sparked new perspectives on your relationship with your pet. Let's keep the conversation going and explore more together soon. By channeling our inner Socrates, we can deepen our understanding of both human and non-human animals, better appreciate our shared existence on this planet, and nurture more compassionate bonds. Thanks for watching.